Star Wars Jedi Survivor was a highly anticipated title because Fallen Order was the best piece of Star Wars content we've gotten since Disney bought the franchise, but unfortunately, the sequel is broken. It's got tons of technical problems, and on PC, it's practically unplayable from what I've seen people say, and Respawn decided to issue an apology that has made players even more upset, and now that the Metacritic floodgates have opened, the game has tanked all the way down to a 1.3 user score. I have a few different things to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media like Twitter or mine so that you can see when my content is posted. And of course, if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon or a supporter via YouTube memberships. Now, I did talk about this game in a previous video because everybody is seemingly upset with it, but now the official EA Star Wars account has made a post apologizing, and it's really not that good of an apology, and they are getting obliterated over it. So it says, a note from the Jedi team on the PC version of Star Wars Jedi Survivor. That is their first mistake, just saying the PC version, because even though the consoles run a lot better from what I have heard, I haven't tested it out myself yet, they still do have massive problems. It says, we are aware that Star Wars Jedi Survivor isn't performing to our standards for a percentage of our PC players, in particular those with high-end machines or certain specific configurations. For example, players using cutting-edge multi-threaded chipsets designed for Windows 11 were encountering problems on Windows 10, or high-end GPUs coupled with lower performing CPUs. It also saw unexpected frame loss. Rest assured, we are working to address these cases quickly. So this is a major issue. Right off the bat, they are only apologizing to the people that have the best of the best hardware, not the average individuals who have a PC that falls under the minimum requirements for the game. When you market a game and say these are the minimum requirements and most people's PCs should be able to handle the game, you have to hit that standard, and most people can't play this game, lower end rig or higher end. So apologizing to only, 10% of the people or 15% of the people playing on this platform is unacceptable. It says, while there is no single comprehensive solution for PC performance, the team has been working on fixes we believe will improve performance across a spectrum of configurations. We are committed to fixing these issues as soon as possible, but each patch requires significant testing to ensure we don't introduce new problems. It is hilarious that they say each patch requires significant testing because the base game itself didn't even require significant testing. I am an Apex Legends player, okay? So I deal with Respawn constantly, and they have a reputation in the gaming industry because when they fix one thing, they break 5 more. There are not going to be enough patches to fix this game for months and months, and that is so sad to say because this is such a highly anticipated title, and I'm still excited to play it, even with these performance issues. But this is not acceptable. They clearly knew this game was broken. They knew that it had issues, and yet they didn't delay it, and they still released it, and that is a slap in the face to the players who spend money on this, okay? When you raise game prices and they've gone from $60 to $70, yes, it's only $10 in the grand scope of things, but you're still charging $70 whole dollars for a video game. A game coming out and being this broken is just unacceptable. It's not okay. They think that releasing this half-assed apology will make people happy. It won't, because you're not really apologizing. You knew the game was broken, you knew it had a lot of issues, yet you still decided to release it in its current state. We have seen so many games launch recently where they just are not up to our standards quality-wise. Of course, going to the comments, people are just furious at them, just so disappointed with their responses. People are saying things like, just fix it. Um, you know, if you were actually sorry to the fans, you do more than just write an apology. You raise the price by $10, which can be justified if the game is good on all levels of execution. This is a perfect example of at how corrupt AAA studios are and have no intention to change. People are also calling out 2-hour standards. Yeah, they clearly don't have very high standards if they thought that this was going to be acceptable. Even with the day one patch, it is still busted. It is still not fixed. It's not like they released a magic patch and everything is good and everything is great and all of the problems on launch day are gone because, yeah, a couple hours after release, they released this patch. I will be streaming Jedi Survivor over the weekend. I'm going to play through the whole entire story, see what happens, and I'm going to judge the performance myself since I am still relatively excited for this game. But if you've decided you don't want to pick it up until it's fixed, you can stop by the streams, watch the gameplay, chat with the community about the experience, and see what kind of technical problems I have, but I'm still extremely worried about this title. And heading on over to Metacritic, people are obviously rating this pretty lowly. Now, first of all, this just shows why critics are out of touch and why you should not base your purchases on what critics say, because they're giving it an 80. And I think the game itself, with the story, the new mechanics, the open world, it probably will be around an 80, because the first game, in my opinion, was around an 8.5. I loved the first game. But all of these reviews very clearly must ignore the technical problems, and we have seen this as a trend where when a AAA game launches and it's broken, the journalists say, well, I'm not going to judge the performance because it'll be fixed soon. We've been reassured by the developers. That still should affect your final score, but users are not afraid to hold back. It is currently sitting at a 1.3 on Metacritic, and on Steam, the score has gone up. It was a mostly negative before. Now it's mixed, but it still is right on that line where it will probably drop back down to a mostly negative. And there are a lot of people who are rating it positively, saying, after having a day to play it, the actual game itself and the content is good. And I think once they fix the technical issues, it will be an amazing game, which is honestly what I hope is going to happen, but it's still probably going to take them months to fix it, and that, in my opinion, it just isn't okay, and they do deserve to get absolutely roasted like they are. It's sad to see another video game come out, another video game have all these problems. I do hope that they fix it very swiftly. I hope that they do really push out a lot of patches, but only time will tell. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this and of course found it important and informative, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.